together a little bit.
Closer.
Closer. Yeah, especially on this side.
Just go almost up to your right, please. Medium low.
Yeah, you all a little bit to that side.
Ouais, décalez-vous parce que là-bas on est hors champ en fait. On a les bordures et tout. Voilà, merci beaucoup. Oui.
Alors tous ensemble au milieu, s'il vous plaît.
Voilà, tous ici, s'il vous plaît.
Thank you. And now just please, Angela und Cast. Good. And maybe a little bit in this direction, please.
Yeah. And you want to take her in the middle somewhere?
Voilà, si elle peut se mettre au milieu.
Can we have her in the middle somewhere?
In this side, please, so that. Great.
Est-ce que vous pouvez tous avancer dans le
On est un schritt auf uns zu. One big step forward. Voilà. Avancez là.
Forward and close together. Could you come a little bit forward as well?
Par ici. Par ici, s'il vous plaît.
Everybody in the middle, please. Middle.
And then just round to the left-hand side, please.
And we're coming in the middle here. Yes, perfect.
And now please do that.
Thank you. Thank you. And now please just Alyosha, Agatha, and Angela.
Ouais, t'es dans un schritt en avant. Voilà, très bien. S'il vous plaît. Ah, ici, Agathe.
All in the middle, please. All in the middle.
Et tous les trois juste en face.
Agathe, s'il vous plaît.
And then just round to the left-hand side, please.
And would you come one step to left? One step to left. Yes, perfect. And that's perfect. Thread.
Et ensuite tous les trois juste en face. Tous les trois juste en face.
Par ici, Agathe, s'il vous plaît.
Ici en face, s'il vous plaît. Agathe.
In the middle, please. In the middle.
Le chat. Agathe.
Et ensemble ici.
And here, please. And just the left-hand corner again, please.
Et dernière tous les trois au milieu, s'il vous plaît.
Avec un grand sourire.
Another one with the
On va faire
composer
tous les
as
trois
well.
ici, s'il vous
Thank you.
plaît. Bon.
Thank you.
Ah, on recommence.
Everybody in the center, please. Center.
And
Thank you. Thank you.
another thing here. Here.
And then just round to the left-hand side, please. Thank you. Merci, Laurent.
Thank you. And now please just Agatha and Alyosha.
Can you guys
Yes.
Can you take a step forward, please?
Avancez d'un pas. Voilà.
Yeah, perfect. Right here.
Voilà, par ici en bas.
Et juste au-dessus.
Ici, s'il vous plaît. Par ici.
Into the center, please. Center.
Ici, c'est vous les deux.
And then just turn around to the left-hand side, please. Thank you. Hold it there.
Above here.
Devant vous. Agathe. Agathe.
Would you come one step to left? On the yes. One here. One. Perfect. And thread on the right.
Thank you.
And go
Thank
to
you.
thread.
Et
Thread
dernière
down
tous les
here.
deux en haut.
Straight ahead.
Ensemble,
Okay.
Alyosha, s'il vous plaît. Agathe.
Agathe. Voilà, par ici, à droite, en bas à droite. Voilà, ici, s'il vous plaît, ensemble. Encore par ici, en bas.
Thank you. And now just Agatha.
Voilà. La punition. Agathe. Agathe, voilà. Après. Voilà, Agathe, en bas. Agathe, juste en bas.
To the center, please.
Agathe, en bas.
Agathe, par ici, droit devant vous. Just turn around to the
En bas,
left-hand side.
Agathe, en bas.
One more, Agathe, s'il vous plaît.
And one left down here.
Agathe, s'il vous plaît, en bas à droite.
One look thread down here. Yes.
And to the center again, please. Center.
Regarde en bas, s'il vous plaît.
Thank you very much. Alyosha, please.
Merci. Merci. Voilà. Le chat, s'il vous plaît.
Regardez-moi aussi, tout ça.
To the center, please.
Voilà. Par ici, on va.
And just come around to
And
your left hand.
down here. So that,
Et encore ici au milieu.
On va, le chat.
Just round to your left hand side,
On
please.
va à droite.
Stand up, please.
Here, please. Thank you.
La main avec un pied. On va.
And down here, sir.
On va.
Center, please. Center.
Et encore une version ici.
Merci beaucoup. Merci. Ah, voilà. Par ici, là, s'il vous plaît, voilà. Très bien.
Juste ici au milieu.
Voilà. Ici en bas, en bas.
Par ici, par ici, par ici.
En bas. Voilà.
Encore au-dessus.
Voilà.
Là, en bas.
En bas à droite, s'il vous plaît. Là. En bas à
Center,
droite.
please. Center, center, center.
And just your left hand side, please.
En bas à droite, s'il vous plaît.
Et encore au centre, s'il vous plaît.
Willst du mal nach links kommen?
Regardez en haut au milieu.
Là.
Und dann geradeaus, genau hier. Perfekt.
En bas à droite.
Juste en haut.
Thank you very much.
Et merci. Merci beaucoup. C'est mieux.
Music is another German competition entry at this Berlinale, a film by Angela Schanelec, one of Germany's best-known and most unconventional directors. In 2019, she received the Silver Bear for Best Director for her film I Was Home, But. Now she returns with a variant, a very modern version of the Oedipus myth. This film takes us from Greece to Berlin, from the 1980s to the present, a film full of allusions and references to the ancient myth. But the music, the soundtrack is especially important, hence the title, music. And the film celebrates wonderful Baroque music, Bach, Monteverdi, Vergolesi. The press conference for the German competition entry, music.
A ragged mama of my seasick dream. Hey, my love, do you still remember me? My voice has changed, but my heart is still the same. It's all our hearts, it's all our hearts, the lovers and the killer's heart.
Celle-là? Thank you, everybody. Please take your seats. We would like to begin. Good morning. Welcome to the press conference for our competition entry Music by Angela Schanelec. I would like to present people on our stage. From your left, the producer, Faktura from Berlin, Kirill Krasovsky. In one of the main leads, Alyosha Schneider. The woman in the center needs no presentation. I will be very short. She's the silverware winner of our 2019 entry, Ich war zu Hause, aber. She's been here at Berlinale with other films, Orly, in Forum, 2010. She was in the retrospective, and we're very, very happy that her last film is also playing in our competition. Music by Angela Schanelec. And we have two more lead roles, Agathe Bonitzer and Argyris Xafis. And we have to say sorry because Marisha Triantafilidou, who maybe some of you expected dearly, couldn't come. Pity, she didn't make it. So, I would like to start, but of course you are welcome and to raise your hand, present yourselves and ask questions. I will take notes. But I would like to start with a question to Angela about the two, what seems to me the two main cores, imaginary main cores of this film. But I have to switch to German, that we agreed on. So if you don't have headphones, please take them. Angela, es gibt zwei Kerne.
There are two cores in this film, it appears to me. There's the myth of Oedipus, which the film is vaguely associated, and then there's the music. There's a bridge between those two cores, and it's perhaps pain or the experience of life. What was there first? What idea, what concept? The point of departure was Oedipus.
Und warum?
Why?
Was kann der Oedipus?
What can only Oedipus tell us?
Ich weiß gar nicht mehr genau, wie
I
sich das
don't know really
entwickelt
anymore how
hat.
this
Es gibt jedenfalls
evolved.
eine Inszenierung, die ich gesehen
But there is a
habe vor sehr
production
langer
that I
Zeit,
saw a long
aus
time
den 80er
ago
Jahren,
in the
die,
80s,
als ich noch Theater gespielt habe,
when I was still acting on the stage,
und die mir in Erinnerung geblieben
and
ist.
which I
Und es
remember.
gab das Interesse an einem Mythos,
And the
oder mit
interest was
einem Mythos zu
in
arbeiten.
working with a
Und so
myth,
kam mir Oedipus in den Sinn.
and
Ich denke, dass auch
Oedipus occurred to
andere
me.
Dinge eine Rolle gespielt
I
haben.
think
Das
other things played a role too.
Mutter-Sohn-Verhältnis.
The mother-son relationship.
Ja.
Und die Musik hat sich aus
And the music
der
developed
hat herausentwickelt, die Bedeutung
out
der
of
Musik
that,
Die
the
Musik hat
significance.
sich ja im
Yes, the
Schweren des Schreibens
music
entwickelt.
developed while I was writing.
Aus dem Wunsch heraus oder ja,
Because I had a wish, a
das kann entstehen
desire.
durch den Schmerz.
I was looking at what can happen through
Man
pain.
könnte eigentlich fast sagen, die Musik ist
So one might say
wie
that the
eine andere
music
Sprache.
is like another language,
eben nicht eine rein
a
verbale Sprache. Ja?
non-verbal language or not
Ja,
purely verbal.
also die Musik,
Yes, the music,
die Hauptfigur beginnt sich mit der Musik
the main
auszudrücken.
protagonist begins to express himself through music.
Insofern stimmt es
And from
natürlich,
that
es ist
point
eine
of view,
andere
of course,
Sprache.
it's correct. It's a different
Und
language.
dass es möglich ist, diese andere Sprache
And that it's
zu
possible to
finden, ermöglicht ihm weiter zu leben.
discover
im
that
Gegensatz zu
language
Oedipus.
enables him to live on, unlike Oedipus.
Wir machen da weiter, aber wir haben schon
Okay,
sehr viele
let's move
Fragen.
on. We have a lot of questions already here.
Hello, it's Yannis Raouzeos from myfilm.gr in Greece. As a Greek, you know, it's quite interesting to watch on a film that has to do with Oedipus, drama and myth. How much difficult it was for you to reinterpret this myth inside our postmodern, in many aspects, techno-totalitarian society, the society of the present, a society where everything is much more fluid, much more liquid among people, among classes, among personalities, and there is no general aspect to describe. How much difficult for you it was to bring a myth in the present, such a myth?
Not difficult. I mean, it was not difficult. I just worked on it. It was not that I thought, oh, I have to do this, how can I do this? I just started. And it was clear for me that I want to have it, I want to tell it that it's now, in these times. And yeah, from step to step, I found things out, how they can develop. And it was, yeah, I would really not describe it as a difficulty, but as a pleasure.
As a challenge, maybe? As a challenge?
As a challenge? Yes, if you want. But not another challenge than everything else, somehow. It was a challenge in other terms which you do not talk about. Financing and so on. But
in der gleichen Ecke kommen. Also.
Yeah.
Good morning. My name is Mahari Sigit, African Refugee News. Nice to see you back. I want to, if you can tell us more about the music the man was playing, and about the locations, especially in Greece, if it was Greece. And secondly, I saw your film 3 years ago, and there was a donkey, a steel donkey there, that you took the cinematography. Can you tell us why there were so many still moments in your film?
Maybe we stay first with the music. So at the moment it was clear that Alyosha will sing, or Yoon, the main character, will sing. It was the question, what will he sing? And since I cannot write music, I was searching for music for a very, very, very long time. It was not clear at all for me, how can I find this music? I cannot write it. And also, I think it's very difficult to describe music, because you start to describe something, yeah, how to describe it? Just words. And then after, I don't know, a year or more than a year, searching and hearing music online, I found Daktiel, who is sitting over there, who is living in Canada. And yeah, it was just fantastic. I suddenly, yeah, thought, yes, it could work. We would find this music, and then I contacted you, and I met you in Toronto, and so we talked, and we decided to do it together. And yes, Doug then sent me music or songs he's working on, which were not already released, and other ones I already knew. And then, yeah, it was clear that Alyosha and Doug should meet. It was not possible. They did it online. And so it continued, and it was, for me, a great experience. Because, yeah, it's difficult with music, in many terms. It's difficult to find it, the right music.
Do you want to answer the second part of the question?
There were so many questions. Yeah, we shot in Greece. The main part is shot on Peloponnese, in the south of Peloponnese, and there is another part shot on Evia. And the still shots, this is such a general question. Maybe we could come back to it.
I would like to pass on the question of the music and the singing to the person who is performing. Alyosha, can you talk a bit about this process of working, transferring from expressing yourselves with your body normally over a long range of this film and then the singing?
Yeah, well, it was a wonderful process with Doug. I was at home in Paris, and he was in Montreal, and yeah, we just worked on the song, and it's really all I had before the movie to work on it, because for the rest I would really let myself me laisser porter. How do you say that? I would
just let myself go.
Yeah, let myself go and trust Angela, and so the only thing I had to prepare really was the music with Doug. So it's really through this that I, got into the character, and Doug really has these floating melodies, often really high pitched, and you talked about the body, and I feel that how we worked with Angela too was really this floating character. So it really fit, and for me it was a good way to get into the character.
If we pass on to Agathe, because Angela, in the few interviews she gives, she talks a lot about how everything comes from nature and from the actors, the performers, and you are a very young crew, a very young cast, and very contemporary, and it helps a lot to make this bridge from the myth that is there somehow to the human beings in some kind of contemporary life. So when you were acting, when you had to perform, were these concepts of mythology, maybe like the theatrical part, the masks, or the relatively limited movement, part of your task?
Mine?
Yes.
I didn't feel that I was acting, actually. Because everything was so natural. It can seem strange when we watch the film, but for me it was very free, and I had nothing to do except what was written on the script and what was I feeling and what was Angela told me. So I didn't think about the myth. I think I just thought about the feelings of the character, but never in a psychological way. I don't know how to say. So everything was very natural for me and very sweet, I should say. I don't know how to tell. Everything was like floating too a bit, and I don't know.
Agiris, you also want to share your experience?
Well, I think I totally agree with what Agathe just said. Working with Angela is a blessing for an actor, because she creates before you coming on the set all the reality, just put it on that you need, so you shouldn't act. You don't have actually to act in the way that we are used to until then. She never told us any of the silly things that we hear when we do movies most of the times about being happy or being sad or being. She never talked about, but she always talked us in a way that we have to guide ourselves to the core of what is needed to be done. So all the poetry, I think, that comes on the movie comes from her core relationship to the theme and to the story that she has written and to her vision. And I totally am happy with Angela's answer about being easy to work on Oedipus. Because Oedipus, the story itself, it's a prototype myth. I mean, if you think about it, like 95% of the stories that we see may come or may not come from the Oedipus prototype story. So being free in the way that Angela wants to be free in her movies was also freeing for us as well. And this, what Agathe says about Sweet, I also felt it, this tenderness with the fellow actors on set. Not rushing, not pushing in any way, but never going back from her vision or her what she wanted to happen. And I know it was difficult to shoot on Greece. It was the rock and the sun and it was really harsh. And the places that we've been in, these North Peloponnese and Evia places, we opened roads that have never been driven before. And we've been near goats and places with no green at all, because I think this is the heart of her storytelling for this movie. I think that's what I was saying.
That was great.
May I, sorry,
Hi,
may I just for 1 second add
from
someone?
Brazil, Rodrigo Fonseca, Estado de São Paulo.
From São Paulo.
To hear a few words about the financial engineer of the film. And Angela, I would like to ask you, your film made me think a lot about the Pasolini's version of Oedipo. I would like to hear was the Pasolini's film a reference to you, especially because in his film there is a huge celebration of nature, and I found the same celebration in your film. Is there any connection? Thank you.
I'll try to be brief. Financing was very hard and difficult, as you can imagine, for the film, especially when you shoot a lot outside of Germany. And you have many countries involved. We have Serbia, France, Greece, Germany. So, and of course, at the sub point, the construction was very weak. So, and if one element would drop out, we wouldn't shoot the film, actually. Or maybe shoot, but maybe not this under other circumstances. So it was not easy in terms of financing.
I just want to add something regarding the acting, and then I come to your question. For me, the cast is very decisive because I need to be need to be completely interested in themselves. They are actors, and I think the expression that we sometimes heard now, not acting, is not really right, because they are acting and they are actors. But it is important for me that I want to see not how they change or how they go in a role, but how they appear, and so how they appear through doing something or saying something. So, and I just want to add that finding this cast in Greece with Argyros and Marisha, who is unfortunately not here, and Alyosha and Agathe, was a really fortunate. I was very fortunate. Yes. And Pasolini. The film of Pasolini is absolutely fantastic. And I knew the film, and I saw the film again, and this was the only moment where I thought, okay, maybe I should not do it. This was the only moment. But it passed. Yes. I mean, it's fantastic. It's impossible to... It's not a reference, because how...
Andreas Tai from festivalblog.com. Also erstmal vielen Dank für diesen wunderschönen
First of all, thank you very much for this beautiful film. A question to the director.
Können Sie ein bisschen erklären,
Can you explain a bit why at the end you have this episode set in Berlin and why you didn't stay in Greece for the whole story?
Der Grund ist
The reason
der Zeitsprung
was the leap in
und die
time
Entwicklung, die die Figur nimmt.
and the development in the character. In the myth, Oedipus gouges out his eyes because of what he learns.
Bei mir passiert das hier nicht.
And that doesn't happen in my case. Right up to the end, he doesn't find out who died, that this was his mother.
Und so wie Oedipus weiterlebt,
And just as Oedipus carries on living blind in the forest with his daughter, I wanted to tell how this figure continues to live and sings.
This is it.
That's it.
Gleich daneben, bitte.
Tiziana Sugaro, Festivalblog und Märkische Allgemeine. Meine Frage hat sich
From the Märkische Allgemeine, the festival blog. Basically, my question's already been answered.
verschiedenen Stellen angepasst.
You adapted the myth at a number of points. It wasn't quite clear to me whether the woman actually was his mother, and my question is whether you left that open deliberately or whether it was so clear for you. It seems to you that it's very clear to you that the woman was his mother. Now I understand through your question, the question before, why I didn't stay in Greece but went to Germany. For me, it was always clear that I have to change the language, and we had actually planned to film in the UK, not Germany. This change, this leap in time, demanded a new place, just as it did with Oedipus.
Was die Mutter betrifft.
As far as the mother's concerned, yes, to me it's clear that this is his mother and I deliberately left it open.
Also das klingt irgendwie komisch.
That sounds odd,
Weil es gibt eigentlich
because basically I say intention. You don't intend a thing from the start. There is what evolves through the writing, through the narrative.
Ja.
And yes.
Letzte Frage.
Last question.
Frédéric Joule, Max Cinema. Agathe, can you tell us about your desire to work with Angela? Simply.
I think we had the answer, no? They talked about it, but do you want to go again? At least we had the question. You didn't get this answer. Okay.
Okay, I'll start. Okay.
In my case, I've seen a lot of films by Angela, and I was really keen to work with her because it speaks to me. That's it, basically. I was very happy when she chose me for this film. And in my case, I don't know how she was working before I met her, but from what I've seen, it's a film. I'd seen the film before I met her in casting. And I came to Berlin, we met, we ate together, we did a working session which went on for a few hours. And I was really seduced by this approach to work, which was quite different from anything I'd done before, where I just turned up to work without anything. I just said, okay, I can go further with this. I'd love to make a film with Angela. And also, I was a real fan once I did see her other films.
Talk about my desire. May I?
Yeah, of course. Last words, yours, of course.
Last words, yes, good. I knew Agathe also from other films she did before, and I wanted to do it with her from the very beginning, and I thought she's so young. So I didn't ask her. And that has to do with your question, because this is also why I accepted that it's maybe not understood, because she's very young. But I wanted to work with her. And with Alyosha, I didn't know him as an actor, but as a singer. and I wanted to work with him.
Thank you so much. We have to wrap it up. I would have a million of questions about the edit and all the omissions, because the ellipsis, of course, of this narration is haunting and very challenging for an audience, even for critics. But as Angela said in the press booklet, omission is a prerequisite of narration, and it is also a prerequisite of our press conference. So thank you so much.
Sorry, may I have one minute from your time, please? For something that it's not really relevant to this movie, but it's relevant from where I come from, in Greece. There's a situation there for all the artists. All the national drama schools and the national theaters are occupied by students there, because there was a presidential degree that presented this December that equates our diplomas, artistic diplomas, with high school diplomas. So rendering us like someone that is not specialized, that has never studied anything. So we are fighting against this presidential degree with strikes, protests. All the theater go on strike every week. The national theaters, I'm repeating, are closed for more than a month right now, and it's not going out on the media in Greece. So I'm asking for your help to spread the word out that there is a special case, and we need the European friends' help to sort this out. There is an education hole in the art industry in Greece, and this is what I want to share with you, and just take over a bit of your time.
Thank you, Argyris.